Local spirit, global heart. When over 5 billion people tuned in to watch the FIFA World Cup in Qatar, it was clear that soccer dominates global sports, but there's still room for a unique national sport. Sports are big business, but they're also an important part of a country's culture. Let's take a look at some of the most unique sports in the world. Senegalese wrestling. West Africa has many wrestling traditions. In rural Senegal, young men are still taught wrestling, called lamb, by griots. Griots are traditional itinerant musicians, poets, and historians. At important village festivals, young men grapple and attempt to throw their opponent down onto the sand, or to push them out of a circle. Often the young men are fighting for the honor of their village against opponents from nearby villages. As Senegal has urbanized, so has its wrestling. Land matches take place in stadiums with international sponsors, TV coverage, and prize money. Elements of boxing and other martial arts have also crept in. Leading wrestlers are national celebrities, and many current and former champions run training schools. Many argue that land is bigger than football in Senegal. However, this modern form of land remains steeped in tradition. For example, before a match, wrestlers dance to rhythmic drumming and unveil their training clothes to reveal Greek, traditional amulets created by holy men called miracles. They also cover themselves in colorful protective potions. Many wrestlers also incorporate traditional rituals during their training regimes. Lamb, the traditional form of Senegalese wrestling, is a unique and celebrated sport that blends athletic competition with cultural rituals and social significance. Need to take a deeper look at lamb. Key features of lamb. 1. Techniques and styles. Lamb involves a variety of techniques, including throws, holds, and grappling. Wrestlers aim to either pin their opponent or force them out of the designated wrestling area. The matches often showcase both strength and agility. 2. Rituals and ceremonies. Before a match, there are elaborate rituals that include drumming, singing, and dance. These ceremonies serve to invoke blessings from ancestors and spirits, emphasizing the cultural and spiritual dimensions of the sport. 3. Costuming. Wrestlers typically wear traditional attire, which can include a bubu or specific wrestling gear, often adorned with symbols that represent their identities and personal beliefs. For training and preparation, wrestlers undergo intense training that combines physical conditioning, technique development, and mental preparation. Many also adhere to specific diets and rituals to enhance their performance. 5. Community impact. Lamb is a significant social event in Senegal, drawing large crowds and fostering community pride. Successful wrestlers often become local celebrities and role models, inspiring youth and promoting a sense of identity. 6. Modern influence. While rooted in tradition, lamb has evolved over the years, incorporating elements from modern sports entertainment. Matches can attract significant media attention, and some wrestlers have gained international recognition. 7. Cultural symbol. Lamb is seen as a symbol of resilience and strength within Senegalese culture, often reflecting broader themes of community, heritage, and national pride. Lamb is not just a sport, it embodies the spirit and values of Senegalese society, making it a vital part of the country's cultural landscape. Sepak Takraw. Sepak Takraw is similar to volleyball but played with the feet. Sepak means kick in Malay and Takraw means rattan ball in Thai. 2 teams of 3 play on a court similar to a badminton doubles court with a net 1.52 m high in the middle. Players can use any part of their body to hit the ball except their arms and hands. Like volleyball, the ball can be passed to teammates twice before it must be hit over. The sport is popular in Southeast Asia, especially in Malaysia and Thailand. Players often use moves from local martial arts to kick the ball. Flexibility and acrobatics are prized. Sepak Takraw has several predecessors. The Chinese game called Kuju was first played over 5,000 years ago, while Myanmar's Chinlong was played over 1,500 years ago. The first mention of the predecessor to Sepak Takraw in Malaysia was in the 15th century. In 1929, the Siam, Thai, Sports Association drafted the first rules for Takraw. It quickly gained popularity in schools. During the Silver Jubilee celebrations for King George V in 1935, Malaysians began to play their version of the game on badminton courts which had been introduced by the English. The first formal tournament in Malaysia was organized in 1945. In 1960, representatives from Malaysia, Thailand, and Singapore met and agreed on standard rules and a common name, Sepak Takraw. Australian rules football. Like rugby union and association football, soccer, Australian rules football was developed and codified from an informal English football game played between private schools. But unlike the first two sports, Aussie rules was founded in Australia, not England. The first game of Aussie rules was played in 1858 between two schools in Melbourne, Scotch College and Melbourne Grammar. It was umpired by Tom Wills, a member of the Melbourne Cricket Club, who in 1859 helped form the Melbourne Football Club and helped codify the rules for Australian football. Aussie rules also took inspiration from an Aboriginal game called Marngrook in Gaelic football known by Irish immigrants. Today, representative teams from Australia and Ireland play a biannual series of a hybrid game called International Rules. Aussie rules is played on cricket ovals in the winter and has 18 players a side, 7 more than football and 3 more than rugby. It uses a ball similar to a rugby ball, but unlike football and rugby there's no offside. It allows tackling between the shoulders and the knees. 6 points are scored by kicking the ball untouched through 2 central posts, and 1 point is scored if the ball goes between one of the central posts and an outside post, or if it hits any of the 4 posts. The ball cannot be passed between players like rugby, but instead can be kicked or struck with a fist, handballed. A player running with the ball must touch it to the ground every 15 meters. This is usually done by bouncing the ball. If the ball is kicked more than 15 meters and caught before it touches the ground, the catcher can kick the ball without interference from opposing players. This is called a mark. The Australian Football League is the sole fully professional league for Australian rules and was created in 1990 from the older Victorian Football League, 1897. It is most popular in the states of Victoria, Melbourne is the capital, South Australia, Adelaide, Tasmania, and Western Australia, Perth. Rugby league is more popular in the states of New South Wales, Sydney, and Queensland, Brisbane. Malakhra. Malakhra is an ancient Pakistani form of wrestling in Sindh, which dates back 5,000 years. The match begins with both wrestlers tying a twisted cloth around the opponent's waist. Each one then holds onto the opponent's waist cloth and tries to throw him to the ground. Malakhra is one of the favorite sports among males in Sindh, Pakistan. Malakhra matches are generally held on holidays and Fridays and are a feature of all fairs and festivals. Rich feudal lords and influential persons maintain famous Malhu wrestlers and organize matches for them. In the Pakistani region of Sindh, it is the provincial sport. Key features of Malakhra. 1. Wrestlers begin by tying a twisted cloth around each other's waists. 2. They then hold onto the opponent's waist cloth and attempt to throw them to the ground. 3. Some variations of the rules allow pinning the opponent's shoulders down as a way to win. For the match is overseen by a referee inside the ring and a panel of 2 judges watching from the outside. University of Sindh set up a Malakhra wrestling corner in the Institute of Sindhology. A traditional wrestling match is played annually at the Urs of Lal Shahbaz calendar at Saywan Sharif. Malakhra Stadium is proposed by Sindh Mal Association in Karachi. Slap Kabaddi. Slap Kabaddi is a variation of the traditional Pakistani sport Kabaddi, where players score points by tagging opponents while holding their breath. In Slap Kabaddi, a player can deliver slaps instead of tagging, adding a unique twist and a more physical element to the game. This version emphasizes strength and agility, making it quite intense. It is a unique variation of Kabaddi, especially popular in the Punjab, Pakistan. Two players aim to slap each other, scoring a point for each hit they make on their opponent, above the waist. The winner is the one who scores the most points or makes their opponent lose. Shocks are not allowed, although players can crash. There's no time limit or limit to the number of slaps that can be executed, though causing injury to the opponent results in disqualification in some matches. Some sports like football and basketball are global sports that have become integral to the culture of many countries. Other sports like those mentioned above remain unique to a single country or a small group of countries. A sport's ultimate value should not be determined by its global footprint, but by how much enjoyment and meaning it provides the places where it is played. Who knows what new sports could develop in the future? Lorie Chavez-Deremer, the rising star in American politics. Lorie Chavez-Deremer is poised to become the U.S. Secretary of Labor under President Donald Trump, having cleared a key Senate procedural vote. A former congresswoman and Oregon mayor, she has a complex political history, once backing pro-labor policies but later aligning with Republican priorities. Her confirmation could shape labor laws, union rights, and workplace regulations in Trump's second term. With support from labor unions and some Democratic senators, her nomination signals both continuity and change for the Labor Department. Early life. Lorie Chavez-Deremer was born on April 7, 1968 in Santa Clara, California, and raised in Hanford. Her father, Richard Chavez, was a Mexican-American teamster, shaping her early understanding of labor issues. She graduated from Hanford High School in 1986 before earning a business administration degree from California State University, Fresno. Entry into politics. Chavez-Deremer started her political journey in Oregon, winning a seat on the Happy Valley City Council in 2004. In 2010, she became mayor and was re-elected in 2014, serving until 2018. Her focus on local governance set the stage for her future ambitions. She made two unsuccessful attempts at the Oregon House of Representatives in 2016 and 2018, both times losing to Democrat Janelle Bynum. Rise in national politics. In 2022, Chavez-Deremer won Oregon's 5th congressional district seat, becoming the first Republican woman to represent the state in Congress. She also made history as one of the first 2 Hispanic women elected from Oregon. However, her tenure was short-lived. In 2024, she lost re-election to Janelle Bynum. During her time in Congress, she took a nuanced stance on labor rights, initially supporting the Protecting the Right to Organize, PRO, Act before moderating her position. Confirmation hearing. Nominated by President Trump in November 2024, Chavez-Deremer faced scrutiny over her evolving stance on labor policies. The Senate Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions, HELP, voted 14-9 to advance her nomination, with 3 Democrats supporting her. She reassured Republican skeptics by expressing reservations about the PRO Act and endorsing right-to-work laws. During the hearing, she stated, "If confirmed, my job will be to implement President Trump's policy decisions and ensure a level playing field for businesses, unions, and, most importantly, the American worker." Labor policy challenges and outlook. If confirmed, Chavez-Deremer will oversee key labor regulations, including workplace safety enforcement and union rights. She could face pressure over Trump's proposed labor policies, including a potential rollback of overtime rules and immigration-related employment restrictions. The Bureau of Labor Statistics, a division under her purview, may also come under scrutiny amid debates over employment data transparency. Her appointment would add diversity to Trump's cabinet, as she would be the second Latino pick after Marco Rubio as Secretary of State. However, whether she will champion workers' rights or align with a more business-friendly agenda remains an open question. As AFL-CIO President Liz Schuler put it, it remains to be seen what she will be permitted to do as Secretary of Labor in an administration with a dramatically anti-worker agenda. Chavez-Deremer's confirmation marks a crucial moment for labor policy in Trump's second term. With union leaders watching closely and businesses expecting deregulation, her tenure could define the future of workplace rights in America. What do you think about Lorie Chavez-Deremer's political impact? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more political insights.